How are you, people? Now, this is a really exciting topic. We're going to talk about how to exponentially increase email open rates and click-throughs to make more money. Well, this isn't going to be a full-blown email writing course or anything like that. There's plenty of great courses out there that I'll point you towards. But this is going to be some really critical information about how to set that up and do some simple but powerful strategies in order to get these increased click-throughs. And first of all, you have to make your stand. Like, transmission is everything. So when you've got 100% belief and absolute focus and you're taking action there and you're getting results, you're going to be very positive about this. You're not going to be like, oh, I've tried everything and failed, and you want people to follow you. They want leaders. They want confidence. And confidence is everything. Confidence will resonate with people, and it just plays on every aspect in your life, in your relationships, in your business relationships, the way you deal with your kids, how good you feel about yourself. You feel proud to be in your body, and that's what it's about. And so to decide to play full out, this is the difference between success and failure. Unfortunately, most people want to do nothing. They just want to take on some new information, which I applaud anyone in doing that and want to further their education. But there's no point in learning that if you're not going to take any action or apply it at any level. And a lot of people just stand on the sidelines. I'm going to be telling you information today, and a lot of you will probably take it away and say, yeah, that was good information. And some of you will say, oh, absolutely, transmission is everything. I've got to build my confidence. I've got to find a system where I can have that belief and build that confidence and actually start doing those steps. That's the difference. And you can see where the difference is, because someone just literally listens to this and doesn't do anything with it, versus that small percentage that actually takes and does action, they're going to take those little steps and get closer towards their goal. That's what the difference is. Other people just get distracted and then they jump on YouTube, Facebook, or look for different opportunities. Right, this is a short interruption there. My son was wondering if I've got some batteries charged up for his little keyboard. But anyway, that's what I love about being at home. I can be here and allow my wife and myself to have some balance as we help each other with the business, and both here to raise our kids. So anyway, where were we? Decide what you stand for. What do you stand for? Let people know, and equally tell them what you stand against. Like, what don't you enjoy in life? What are you really designing your life for? I believe that everyone should be at home to raise their kids. To be a part of that. I don't play into that model of the female stays at home, mum stays at home while the father goes out and work and doesn't know their kids. Now, I'm from the X generation, Generation X, and a lot of us, if you look up the definition online, a lot of us didn't have that much interaction with our parents when we were younger. Like, the dad was always working. I remember asking my dad, what was I like as a kid? And he said, I don't know. And that's given me that internal drive, saying, I want to be here for my kid. We had a lot of money as a kid. Dad had a successful business, but we didn't feel the love. And love to me, and being supportive and being there and providing that emotional stability is everything. That's really valuable. And I don't believe in getting stuck in traffic. I just hate wasting time. Going to traffic and driving around. I was doing a sales job and I actually suck at sales. And just unqualified meeting after unqualified meeting. And it's a 99% failure rate on the meetings that closed. And it was really unrewarding. I just can't believe people do this. And yesterday we went to the courthouse and there's a lady there that she's stuck inside a box, essentially, just filling out forms or taking forms, and I was, day in, day out, like, how does no one question what they're doing? Now, if you have to do that as a short-term interim, that's a different story, if you have to make ends meet. But if you do that for 30 years, it's like you've got to question the sanity of people that do this, And what has brought you to this point that you're at right now? How have all these elements, it's like a volcano exploding. It's like failure, investment, failure, what's working, then boom, you get that clarity, You find that system, you find that mentor, you find that coach, and you get that clarity. So what is your story? And what are you prepared to do to transform your life? Are you prepared to look at your business as a real business? Are you prepared to invest? Are you prepared to change your habits, do things dramatically different from what you've done in the past? And that brings me to death of the opportunity seeker mindset. Now, just as a quick side note, the reason why I want to teach you this stuff is because I teach myself at the same time, and you've probably heard it before, and I just love talking about this because it really helps me internalize this stuff and also helps you at the same time. So there's no better way of doing this. So there's no push button riches systems out there. Now, we'd all like to know about it, and if there definitely was, but nothing can automate you and your story, and that's a big part of this. You can have 90% of everything done for you, and there's a 10% I always allude to, which is the variable elements. No one's going to sit down and write your story for you. They're not going to talk about your experiences and what you bring to the table. No one's going to know that, and that is a big part of this element, because your story, your unique factors are what builds up that relationship with the people that you're going to attract to your business. Now move your mind from thinking about short-term tactics and start thinking strategically. Strategic is more longer term, and it's about thinking about where you are now, where you want to be in the future, and what steps do you need to achieve in order to achieve that result. And over these videos and different information I present to you, I want to help you along that journey, because I've been through that journey and I know how frustrating it can be. I can relate to all these stories. I was £100,000 in the hole, bankrupt, had to declare bankruptcy, which I'm not proud of. And that's just from being stupid, essentially, just doing dumb things and investing the wrong things, and just being short-term orientated, looking for tactics rather than having a strategy. And yeah, I followed the wrong people. I invested in different coaching programs and fell through the cracks, and nothing worked for me. I had mentors or different coaching programs talk me into doing their particular coaching programs, when if they'd asked me the real questions, would have found out that I wasn't right for the program. I had certain constraints and weaknesses that I had to overcome before I'd make a program like that successful, and that another program would suit me better. For example, I wouldn't say, right, for this, I'm going to present to you a particular strategy where it involves you picking up the phone and doing cold calls for, 4 hours a day. And if you're no good at picking up the phone, or that's not something you'd enjoy, I'm not going to have you enroll in my coaching program, right? And essentially, I was doing things like that. That was the biggest constraint for me. Even though I like talking with people, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not good at selling. I know that, and it's been proven to me, because the last few jobs that I had involved sales, and I got fired from them all. And it's not a great feeling. So all my ships have essentially been burnt for what I want to do. I used to work in finance for a number of years, and I hated it, and I don't really understand it, and I just literally filled a seat. And where my true value is here. No one's going to pay me what I think I'm worth. So I have to develop the systems and processes in place in order to give me that value. So understand that you're building a real business. You've got to invest in your business. You've got to invest time and money for the takeoff. The takeoff is a really important point. That's the first 30 to 90 days. Depending where you are on your journey, what kind of skill sets you have, what you have to learn, it's all different. So people can really hit it out of the park in 30 days, and realistically, if you follow it to the T, in 90 days you're going to be making some huge success. And when you're making money and see that your system works, you get that confidence. You're just going to grow your business to exponential levels. You won't even know who you are in 3 or 6 months from now. So belief and confidence. People love leaders, and leaders believe in their mission and don't jump ship after a few days and trying something out, or if they hit a small bump in the road, because confidence breeds confidence, and when you have confidence in the system, you get momentum, and when you have momentum, it's like a big boulder. You just smash through every little obstacle there is. Now, your business model. You want to always capture leads and build your list. Now, your positioning is what makes you stand out in the market. You've got to stand out in this, I like to call it the sea of sameness. If you've got 1,000 people promoting a particular product and using, if you know the affiliate example, using all the product owners' marketing material, you're going to be sending out the same emails, you've got the same sales pages, same bonuses, and all those things. What makes you different? You can position yourself differently. You can give out a series of videos helping people with each step of their journey, and we're going to be talking about that shortly, because that is such a powerful strategy. And you need to study marketing. You need to be passionate about marketing, and be focused on what type of information you want to learn, though. So surround yourself with those who have walked the path before you. I mean, there's no reason whatsoever to try and beat this path on your own, unless you do have, a very, very unique idea and no one's walked the path before you. And testing, test. So testing is what marketing is all about. No one's going to give you the crystal ball and say that this particular way, just do this and you'll get this result, because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with emotions, you're dealing with different buying triggers, you're dealing with the way you write the ad. So there's all these variables, but we can talk about what results are fairly much typical within a range for doing certain things if you do things a certain way. So you want to build your system around success. So when you've got your system there, you just have to focus on, the elements that are really making it work, and that's going to make you the difference. And then, successful people will test things out. They'll find a traffic method, and then they'll be testing out another one, because you don't want to be reliant on just one traffic method, because if that dries up, your business dies. So if someone's reliant on SEO, search engine optimization, have their page ranked, and their business is all coming from natural search on Google, and then the Google rules change and your page disappears, your business is dead. And that's a very, very scary position. So 1 is a scary number. Dare to be different. What makes you different from everyone else? I'm different. I'm from New Zealand. I've got my own unique story. I'm going to attract a different type of people. I'm a certain age, and the way I want to do it is just be really passionate about helping you. So the more people you help, the more you'll help. You'll grow in your business. It's a universal law. Now, here's a 100% way to fail fast. Do as everyone else is doing, e.g. Facebook spending money on a lot of leads and having no particular sales process in place. Complete waste of money. Using the same marketing material as everyone else, because we talked about being different. You don't want to be stuck in the crowd. You want to stand out in the crowd. And if you don't track and measure or test, these are vital for improving, and you always want to improve. And if you work on multiple opportunities at the same time, you're going to diffuse your concentration of energy, and I can guarantee that either you will fail or you'll get rich very, very slowly, depending on what opportunities you have and your capacity, of course. And if you keep looking for greener grass, you're always going to fail, because there's continual amounts of green grass out there, and everyone likes new, and that's the bright shiny objects. And a system is a system. If you find the right system and get these right elements in place, every opportunity essentially becomes the same. You have to just decide to go with one because other people have been successful with it before. Then you have to decide that you're going to be successful and find out exactly what other people are doing and do that. And if you try something else using the exact same actions that you've used before, the exact same habits, using your exact same thinking that you've always done, and that's led to failure in the past, it's going to lead to failure again, because unfortunately wherever you go, no matter where you go, you're there. Those same thoughts, beliefs and habits. So tips for success, and believe me, this is going to be really powerful as we tie this all into getting increased opt-in rates or open rates for email. So tips for success: be different. Because just a quick aside, apply this to your email. This is what we're going to be talking about, because the way you're going to communicate with your audience is through video, through email, through your sales pages, and apply all this information about being different, standing out in the crowd, helping people, being confident and having that belief in the system. So creating your own sales and marketing funnel. Now see the Fast Start guide about how to create a money-sucking funnel that produces cash on demand. And I've given you the exact resources if you're just starting out here, how to actually do that. You need to take massive action, just really without any inner doubt, just go for it. And get rid of old limiting patterns. Like, notice what comes up for you when I ask you about creating your own sales funnel. Like, do you feel any resistance? And what is your brain saying? And question it. Is that the truth? Is it really the truth? You say you can't do it. Is that true? No, it's not, because you can learn the system, and we're here to teach you the processes and systems about how to do that. Now, this is a simple model, and you can start any journey. You have to start any journey with the first step. That's all it takes. Too many people focus on, that's really funny, a lot of people start with advanced strategies, and it might be advanced traffic generation strategies, And in reality, most internet marketers don't even have a website. A lot of these people go to these courses, and when I talk about these people, I'm talking about me at the same time. So it's not me against you type thing. It's just pointing out how stupid a lot of this is. It's just crazy. And now that you see the light, I just want to really pass this information on. So, it starts with one step. You need to know where you want to be, but you just need to focus on step one. Because if you're, just like when you're putting something together and you're looking at instructions, if you do, us guys are guilty of not looking at them, but if you start with step 4 before step 1, which is the advanced putting together strategies or whatever it may be, there's no way it's going to work. You haven't got all the pieces that come before that. And a lot of us are just trying to find out that advanced information before we've even done the basic stuff, haven't even set the foundation, and just like to know that information because it's nice to know. Store that in your brain somewhere, takes up more mind space, along with all those bright shiny objects and all those emails. You've got no space left for even being you, connecting with your family. You're continually thinking about the stuff like, oh, I've got that, and oh, there's that other email, I really should buy that, oh, that's expiring tomorrow, oh, I've got to refund that product. I mean, it's never ending. So you want to create a unique sales funnel, and when you do this, when you're different, this opens up so many more advertising opportunities for you, because you'll see that on, for example, if you go to do a solo ad provider might say no Empower network or no particular businesses I will mention, but if the opt-in page or landing page that you have is unique and it's about you and some offer that you put together, you can advertise that anywhere you want and then advertise those business opportunities behind it. That's the whole idea. You want to get people in through the front door, start building up that value and that trust, and then you can direct them towards where you want. And you want to create your own list. This is your biggest asset in your business, and a lot of people get this wrong, or they just abuse their list. And you want to learn to build rapport and relationships with your list. And what I advise you to do, and when you've cleaned up your email inbox, just let a few emails come through that you've been missing in the past because you're so clogged up with all these different emails. Because I know ones that I want to read. I love some emails that I get and I model them because they're just fantastic. They draw me in. So if they draw me in, I want to draw other people in like me. You draw in people like yourself and understand how they're structuring those emails. And then focusing on your system, your offer funnel, before sending traffic. Now, I look on Facebook and look at a number of other forums and just see a lot of people failing. And they're spending every last cent they have on traffic. It may be $50, it may be 100, maybe $500. They're sending, 200 or 5,000 clicks to an offer funnel, to a funnel that's not theirs, that they haven't tweaked. And they don't know the conversion rates. And they're just wasting all this money because they're not unique in the market. They're just looking like everybody else, and the chances of success are tiny, where that money really should be invested in getting the right systems in place and then looking at spending your money on traffic. Now, acquiring leads. Now, this is from Dan Kennedy, so you can look in this further, and this is called the message to market to media match. And this talks about using the right media. So you've got a message, right, and you want to send it to the market. So you've got the message has to use the right media to connect with your market. So if you have the wrong message and wrong media, when we're talking about traffic and advertising your business, it's not going to work. It's a guaranteed way to fail. But if you've got the right message, say for example you're targeting baby boomers, and we all know a lot of them aren't on Facebook. So if you're trying to send a message to them by advertising on Facebook, you're missing your market. They're not going to be there. The best way to communicate with them may be direct mail, for example. So, or through some solo ads on particular newsletters that they may be subscribed to, or some baby boomer travel companies that may be associated with that. You may be able to advertise in their newsletter or advertise on their website, whatever it may be. But the point is, if you get any of these elements wrong, it's a waste of money. So you really have to think about getting these right, these different elements. So who are you targeting? What is the person you want to write to? What's the group of people you want to connect with? And create an avatar is like, it could be Bob, he's 50 to 60 years old. He's been working an office job for 45 years. He's coming towards the end of his retirement, and that retirement corner keeps on getting bigger and bigger because he doesn't have any savings in place. He's got kids that are about to go to college, and he doesn't have the money to invest in that. It feels like an absolute failure. He's been trying things for the last 3 years. He's invested $15,000 that he's wasted. And you keep building up that story about him. Like, he could be married, he's got 2 kids, and he could be even living in a specific area. It depends how defined you want to get. But the element is, you just want to know who you speak to. And when you can even put a picture of that person next to your computer, so that when you're writing, you write your emails to that person. So where do they hang out? That's what we talked about before, having the right media. Like, are they on Facebook? Are they on different forums? Like, where are they? And what media do they read? Are they reading online newsletters, or are they reading news forums, or do they read particular magazines? Now, how to get the right leads? You've got to have a hook. So this is offering one specific thing to your subscriber. Like, what can you help them out with? What one big pressing problem do they have right now, and what solution are you providing for them? And the hook. That's what a lot of copywriting is about, and getting these things right. So there's you could talk about that for a whole weekend. You could do a whole course on that alone, just getting that hook right, because the hook grabs their attention and gets them to read further, and find out more. So that's why that is very important. But I haven't got time to talk about it here. Then congruency, using the same language and message. So this means that when you're advertising, just say for example you put up a classified ad somewhere, or a banner. That banner has to, the kind of language that it uses, or the offer language that you have, has to be congruent with when they go onto the landing page and when they go through to a thank you page and the other information you have. It has to be the same language, because a lot of the time I see it that people use certain language in, say, for their PPC or Google AdWords advertising, and then when they land on the page, it's like, well, that's nothing to do with that. That headline said that, and this is talking about this, and people just get it mixed up. So a confused mind never buys. So you want congruency. And not all traffic is created equal. So you've got to be careful where you buy traffic and where you invest. A lot of people there's different tiers of traffic. And some people, want the easy way, and they search for that bulk list that they buy. Someone will send out 100,000 emails or clicks or whatever for $50. It's a complete waste of money. You don't know where they've come from or what they're into. You don't know anything about them. You don't know if they've bought before. There's a number of ways to find out a lot more information about lists rather than just going, this shotgun approach. Now, leverage off other people's assets, like their lists. So you can use other people's assets, like solo ads. They're sending out electronic newsletters, they've got a following, and they sell positions in their ads. So this is a fantastic way to build your business. Now, there are a number of other methods, and you've got to decide on which one for now you want to focus on and get working. And then, as I said before, you want to diversify. You want to add different elements in there. You never want to be reliant on just one form of advertising. So you've got Facebook, you've got CPA networks, and that's an advanced strategy. You've got video marketing, media buying, forums. There's so many other things that you could do. Now, the greatest asset of them all. Now, it's true, size doesn't matter. So we've got to be happy about that. But, when we're talking about a list, it's not about the size. It's about the relationship. It's about being real. It's about the resonance, being authentic, and putting yourself out there. And also spice it up and put some entertainment in there. And just notice that the kind of things, programs that you like, they have a little bit of entertainment. And we call it infotainment. You can send them valuable information, but be entertaining at the same time. And be a leader. You have that confidence, and people want to be led. And when you get this right, this is the beauty of this whole system. There's no other system in the world that can do this. You can get cash on demand. So when you've got a list that you've got a relationship with, and you're an authority in the marketplace, you're an expert, and they listen to you, you can then recommend other things, because you're there to help them. When you understand the different steps they have to go, you can help them on that journey. Now, an industry average is that each subscriber is worth between $1 and $3 per month. Okay, so if you've got a list of 5,000 people, that could be your goal. You can create 10,000 per month from that. We're just going as an average there of $2, so it could be 10,000 per month. So that's anywhere from, if we look at the list of 5,000, it could be anywhere from 5 to 15,000, right? if your goal was to get 10,000 per month, and we know that we have to get a list of 5,000 as an average, that's 167 subscribers per day over a 30-day month. So you know you have to do something in order to get 167 subscribers per day. Now the other thing that comes in is that we're going to talk about is how to increase those open rates, and all these elements can be done for there, because if you've got an open rate of 2%, obviously you need a much bigger list in order to make that money. But if you're getting open rates of 5%, 10%, 20%, 50%, which is possible, you know, these numbers change dramatically and you'll be making so much more money. So set your list target high and then work on building this relationship. So you want to give value, you want to bond, you want to build a highly responsive list. Now I know people that some, you know, a lot of internet marketers talked about before, some have got hundreds of thousands on their list and have, you know, these 0.5 to 2% open rates. You know, when you work the numbers, it's pretty sad how few people are doing it, because they built these lists a long time ago and they really haven't established that trust, you know, that rapport or anything like that. And a lot of people, when they didn't know any better, were just literally spamming them. Oh, check out this and check out that and check out that. No one knows about their story. Don't even know who this person is. I mean, I buy off someone on a regular basis. I don't even know who they are, but just because I've deleted everyone else and he seems to be on the ball with different opportunities out there, so that I just eliminate all the noise. And there's no rhyme or reason why I actually buy from them. But if someone came along and told me their story and they did the same thing, I'd buy off them ahead of this guy every single time. And a small responsive list can be worth, you know, 100 times more than a cold list, and much easier to manage. It's such a much more strategically better way to build your business. Now, people often forget this, but email addresses are real people. If they're giving you their real email address, that is. Now you've got to treat them as such, so you respect them. And this is what a lot of people do in the loser mentality. They get a list, pitch, just what we're talking about, and they get little to no money, and the money will just continually die off, and they'll just lose that list and start again. When they could have got the list, value. You can pitch in every email, but you're providing value, creating stories, building up that rapport, that trust, that resonance, giving a lot of good free information. They're sending up videos, setting them up, helping them with each step of that journey when they want to know how you can help them, how you can get them to that next step. And that, you know, you're going to get a lot more money. They'll tell other people, oh, check out this guy, he's great. Not someone's going to say, oh, check out this guy because it's awesome. He hits your inbox 5 times a day with different products. You know, so the value of value, bridging the gap. Now the gap is a really important point to remember here. So the value comes from bridging the gap. Now the gap, this is the difference between where people are now, point A, and the system that they use to get to their goals. So if you're at point A, you've got your current position, and then you've got your system, you've got the vehicle plus the engine plus the fuel. So we've got that together. And then you've got your variable elements, you've got that 10%, and that's going to get you to your money or your freedom or whatever goals that you want to choose. So the variables are where we need to provide that value. That's the gap. That's the part people don't know. That's where they need the help. That's where they need the coaching, the mentoring, the leadership to develop that new, unique personality, and so they can develop goodwill in their business. Now, the value of any business. When you actually buy, just think about buying a traditional business. The real value is in the amount of goodwill that it has created. You know, what kind of relationships exist, and how have they treated these people, and do these people actually respond to offers? You know, do they buy from them? And if they haven't nurtured these relationships and been, you know, dishonest and treated people really badly and ripped people off, you don't really want to be involved with that business, right? So that's why goodwill is key, and you can build that up through these emails and this relationship that you do, giving value. So think about emails that you read on a regular basis. Like, why do you read them, and how do these people actually write them? Like, how do they build up, you know, the goodwill bank with you, essentially, where it comes to the point that you read them and hopefully you even buy some stuff from them. Now you want to help people out, so sending a video or an email, connecting with where they're at. Then you identify the steps needed to get them close to their goal, and show how the first step can be completed and then show them what to do in the second step. So explain, and when you can do this, even Pagan said this nicely, and I don't know the exact word for word thing, but he said, when you understand or communicate someone's problem clearer and better than what they understand it, you kind of win a lot of that trust and rapport that they're going to give you. And that makes sense, right? Because if I can explain your problem because I've experienced it maybe to a much deeper level with all my years of failure and investment, if you've only done it for 2 years and I've done it for 10, I will know your problem much deeper than what you ever will, right? So that's can build that connection on a really deep level. So here's a fantastic diagram I drew up. So if you're at point A and you've got the mountain ahead of you, right? You've got all this stuff to learn, all these processes, all these different ways. It just makes your head spin, and to get to your promised land. And let's break it down. If you had 4 steps, the first step is having that belief, because without belief, if you've got the offer, the traffic and the conversions, it's just not, it's a broken system. If you're focusing on advanced conversion strategies and you don't have the belief, you don't have the offer, you don't have the traffic, what a waste of time. And I really hope this helps you out, because it's really easy to fall for something saying advanced traffic strategies webinar today, 17.0, and you go, oh great, I've got to know that stuff. You don't even think about it because you've got no strategy. You're just thinking tactics to tick those boxes because you know that sometime in the future it's going to be relevant. But there's also all these other things that need to be done first. So working on yourself is first. That's the belief. Having a belief in the system. So you've got to find the right system, find the right people so you can have that belief. And then next, you've got to have the offer. So what are you going to offer people? What value bring to the table? What problem can you solve for them? And then traffic. How are you going to get traffic to that offer? There's so many different methods there, and we teach you in that. And I've got a system that will actually give you a 30-day traffic plan, and you'll have access to a group of traffic specialists who are willing to help you out. And then conversion. So you want to test and track and measure, as we mentioned earlier, the amount of conversion you have. And when you know your numbers, this opens up a whole new world. You can look at something like CPA offers and take your offer there. That's an advanced strategy. And there we go. I don't need to tell you about that now. And you're probably thinking, CPA strategy, advanced strategy for getting, 100,000 people a day type thing in your list. Oh, I'd love to know that. No, of course you'd like to know it, because I'm like you. I like to know all this information. But let's cut it back to this. We're talking about changing your habits in a massive way in order to get success rather than go down that failure path. Okay, so that's where you have to question how this information is going to impact your business. Now here's the GPTD method, right? Getting past the defences, using media strategically. Now, the title of this is about increasing your open rates on your emails, and this here is, I could have actually just put this one slide up alone, because this in fact will allow you to do that. And I'm not going to go into a deep teaching here. This is something that Frank Kern teaches, and he does a much better job at this, but I'll give you the gist of it so that you can understand. So we're talking about getting past the defences. So when you've got people on your list, you've got your email there, and you're going to send an email. And so in that email, a lot of people send pictures, and we're seeing that that's the way to fail. That's how people burn their lists out. They just send pictures. And when I'm talking about pictures, we're not talking about pictures. You might misunderstand that in my accent. We're talking about sending sales messages, right? Continually. Hitting them over the head. Buy this, buy that. So if you send an email and say, check out this video that I put up on my blog, right? So we're looking at the triangle there. Check out this video that I've got on my blog. And then they arrive on your blog, and you can see the brilliant diagram up on the picture there. You've got the video on your blog, and then you got comments underneath it with people talking about different information there. And then on the other side, on the right hand side of your blog, you got maybe your opt-in, or you got special offer, or promoting a particular system. And so you're getting that good exposure. Now, how people drop their defences and why this is different is because when people arrive at a blog, psychologically they don't feel they're being sold. There's a whole different look and feel and energetic exchange, and they just drop their defences about this. I'm just heading over to someone's blog. They've given me some information. And if you kind of sent them some cool stuff in the past, obviously that all layers up, and you're stacking. I think Frank calls it stacking the cool. You're being cool about all this. You're giving some really good information, and they're going to want to come over. And when they come over to your website, they can add comments, they can read other people's comments. So this is all about social proof. So video has a really high perceived value. Give 95% content and 5% can be an offer, because you've really earned the chance to do that, to do a little offer. And if you've presented the information in a great way, they're going to want to do, a good number of people are going to want to actually take that step further. And if they, that's what you can do is do that offer. And you're not pitching, you're giving really good information. And a blog drops people's defences. They're not going to a sales page. And if you have the right intention to serve and help people, you've got the right energy behind that. So like I said before, when you help people, you'll get helped yourself. And this allows you to stand out from the crowd. And as we mentioned before, that's the whole name of this game, is to stand out. Because all other affiliates, they're focusing on promoting so many different products that they haven't got the time to really give it the time and energy to think about the bonuses that will actually help them out, rather than having resale rights to 10,000 different products that you can download and use up all your internet bandwidth just downloading this crap, filling up your computer that you'll never use. Because if you open up some of these, they're just written so poorly, and I think they bank on the fact that no one will actually open them up. Unfortunately, people are like, whoa, $25,000 bonuses, oh, I'm going to jump in for that. And then they often don't even have time to look at the main product if they get stuck in the bonus kind of world and going, oh, look at all that. It's just, the whole thing's crazy. I like to do it differently and have bonuses actually support getting you further down that track and not distracting, having real bonuses. So that's what makes you stand out in the crowd, when you really care for people and you want to help them out on their journey. So email open rates skyrocket. Now when you implement the GPTD method, you can skyrocket your email open rates. And average open rates can be about 2%. So if you've got a list of 10,000 people, you're only getting about 200 people to open that. And that's tiny. But if you build up the relationship and do a lot of these elements of what we've been talking about here, you can achieve, some people got 50 and 60% open rates. And so if you've got currently experiencing, say, 2% open rates, and even if you got 5%, that's more than doubled your business, right? We're giving you a lot more shots at getting sales. And 10%, that's 5 times. And, as I alluded to, if you're getting 50 or 50% open rates, that's 25 times. These numbers are out of this world. And you test emailing every day, and a good time to send emails out is between 6 and 8 AM in the morning. So practice writing subject lines. Just scan your inbox, and if you followed my inbox strategy about reducing your clutter and filing everything or filtering everything, you can just click the all mail or your marketing email folder, whatever you've created, and just do a quick scan. Now you're talking about put on your strategic mind here, not your business opportunity seeker mind. Get rid of that mind. It's a strategic. Which one grabs my attention? Why does it grab my attention? Are they using curiosity? Why would I want to open that email? And make a note of those. Start building a list, a notepad, or use Evernote. Evernote's a fantastic tool for building up notes, because I've even got all this paper surrounded here now. And I hate it when I write my book, to be honest, because I just literally lose it. I never go through the pages again. Sometimes I use it more of a journal idea, but there's also a great tool online called Penzu, I think it is, that you can use for journaling. So, just get everything online. And it's much more tidy and organised, and you can find stuff really easy. You can tag the different notes within Evernote, so when you do a search, you can find it really easily. So we said practice writing the subject lines, so write them down by hand on a piece of paper. That's the time you need the paper, because that has a energetic exchange, and a lot of top copywriters always said make sure you grab a pen and paper and copy down sales pages that you actually like. So same with subject lines, and write like you're speaking to a friend. You don't want to be too formal or anything like that, and speak as you do speak. It's about your personality, and you can mix entertainment in there, your life stories, teachings, and lessons learned. And when you become the teacher, you will really embed and take on this information to a much deeper level. So the 4% club, that's where the action really happens. Now, if you've heard about the Pareto's principle, 80-20 rule, that means that for 20% of your list or something will produce 80% of the results. You can apply it to anything. Look at clothing. 20% of your clothing you'll wear 80% of the time. So that means the other 80% you use now and again, or don't even know it's there. And so with your business, you're going to have that sweet spot. Whatever you do, if you're focusing on traffic, there's a 4% part of that, 20% that's getting most of your business that you can really fine-tune down. That when you understand that through testing, measuring, and tracking, that's going to give you the results. And so, to get this 4% and really understand and get your business moving in the right direction, you've got to get a piece of paper and write down ways you can make yourself stand out in the marketplace. And as we mentioned earlier, differentiating yourself in the sea of sameness. Why should someone actually listen to you? Why would they want to connect with you, resonate with you, understand you, believe you, follow you, get involved with your business? So you've got to set your intention to help and educate. And that's what's so great doing these. And I urge you to do the same. Teach people, because you teach yourself. Even if you're talking to yourself, it's brilliant. And, I spend a lot of time. I put these PowerPoints together and record this information, edit it, upload it, and then write an email and send it out to you. There's a lot of work involved, but to me, it's all worth it. And this is where, the top earners do the things that other people aren't prepared to do. And you've got to remember that. You've got to do those things. Now, to get, you have to give. And now, that's a universal law. So, give. Have that as your intention. And constantly learning and growing, because there's plenty to share, no matter what level you're at. There's people earning $1,000 a month, there's people earning $10,000 a month, there's people earning $1 million a month, and soon to be earning $5 million a month. And I was just looking at another business someone was telling me about, and they've made $60 million over the last couple of years. It's just incredible in the home business industry. These numbers just blow your mind. And it's just applying these principles and developing your strong belief. If others can do it, you can do it too. If someone's earning $30 million a year in their business, do you think you could get a slice of that? Do you think there's enough people out there to be involved in businesses that you can sustain your lifestyle from this same traffic? So have fun, teach, learn, and grow. So right now you want to be an action taker, and what I've shared with you here is some high level, how to increase your open rates on emails, which is just vital. And the other elements of this, of course, how to write emails. Now, I've got a really good course I'd love to recommend there. Terry Dean has put this together, and it's got just a huge swipe file in there of different emails that you can use and just learn how to communicate. And it's one of the I've looked at so many different email courses, but this one gives you the templates, which we're looking for that 90% of things done, and leave that 10% to you. And once again, this system delivers on that, so that'd be a fantastic course to check out. So you just go to toptierelite.com and /email course. And I'll also be putting together a resources page shortly, so I can email that out to you. So if you want to get in touch with me, got any questions or feedback, just let me know. You can email me at clint@toptierelite.com, and I'm going to send you a free ebook. Now, I'm assuming, a lot of people who get in the game are really in the beginner kind of stages, and I've got a fantastic ebook I want to share with you. And if you go to that link, www.toptierelite.com/ebook, you can get a free ebook that others are selling online, and it's a great education in itself. It really is a well-written book, and you will have to put credit card details in, but it actually doesn't charge you anything, so don't think that they're trying to bait and switch you or try and charge you something later. They just put that information into the system. And if you are to buy other things from them down the line, the information is in there. So it is a genuine free offer. And also, I've got a blog there at clintgray.com. So you can check me out there, and that's just something I've started, and building some more information on there. And if you want to check out more about the type of system that I'm using, you can just go to toptierelite.com, and you'll be taken to a page where you can watch a short video and see how exciting this particular opportunity is, and see if it sounds right to you. It's a great, fantastic offer. Everything's there in order to help you out and get on those first steps of your journey. So that's all I wanted to share with you. So anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this. We're getting on now the time, and I'm going to finish this now. And like I say, if you've got any questions, feel free to contact me. Anyway, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.